Some really important points that my abusers need to fucking grasp is I'm only one of your victims. I'm just one. You're part of a criminal enterprise that has been sex and drug trafficking and committing so many atrocities against so many people, it is literally impossible to calculate how many fucking victims you have. I mean, just between 2020 and now, all your crimes with Big Pharma and Big Health, all the people you've killed through your healthcare fraud, not to mention the deliberate murders like Alfonso. I don't know if Brandy has any family. I know Ben has family. Once Ben's family finds out the truth that you paid off Alex with a bunch of, tens of thousands of dollars of dental work to have Alex slip him a lethal dose of fentanyl right across the street in a parking garage from Safe Harbor, and then instead of calling 911, runs over to Safe Harbor so Safe Harbor could conveniently let him die and cover up the whole shit. Their family's going to get to make a victim's impact statement. I'm sure Brandy's probably got family somewhere. Alfonso's twins, not to mention Michaela Rain's adult family members, are going to get to speak on behalf of little Freya. That includes, now, who's responsible for that? My relatives and my ex-boyfriend, employer, Christopher Chad Cronin JD, and his parents. And all your Epstein allies, all his powerful government friends that he said would fuck with my life in ways I couldn't imagine and kill me. Okay, say you kill me. That's going to be the least of your worries. I die, you're definitely going to catch yet another capital homicide charge. And just because my relatives will cover your ass, you're still going to go down for Ben and Brandy and Alfonso. And plus, don't forget, Chad was high as fuck when he handled all his cases. I've got him, my team has the audio of him saying he was high on cocaine and drunk through his entire academic career while he was getting his education in law and throughout his entire legal career, not only as a defense attorney, but as a prosecutor, either for the feds or the state. So every single person affected by every single case he's handled can sue the state of Florida, DOJ, Obama, Biden, Tony West, Blondie, all the people that he locked up that got sent to prison because he was their ineffective counsel because the prosecutors held his drugs over his head. So he went ahead and coerced his clients into taking whatever plea deal, Jim Crow plea deal, that the prosecutors threw at him, unless they exposed Chad as a drug trafficking addict too, they can all sue. They're all going to end up suing. This isn't a matter of it might happen. It's a matter of it's going to happen. Then there's all the victims here in Vermont that are going to go after Paul Dragon. And all the homeless people that you've kept homeless are going to go after CVOEO. They're going to go after COTS. They're going to go after A New Place. They're going to go after Burlington Housing Trust and Pathways and Howard Center. They're going to go after all the predatory drug rehabs that force them to stay on bup or methadone when they didn't want to. So why you keep sending people to fuck with me as if I'm your only fucking victim? Makes no motherfucking sense. It's just a level of stupidity I can't wrap my mind around. You know you're all under surveillance. Your lawyers are under surveillance. That's why your lawyers don't have access to the evidence against you. That's why state police ain't picking up the phone and calling Paul Dragon's lawyer or that other lawyer who represented the supervisor at Economic Services when I applied for the unfair hearing, or the fair hearing that turned out to be an unfair hearing, where some arbitrator at Vermont Human Services Agency covered it up. And I said, this lady's committing perjury, and she admits, okay, we'll deal with that later. Then she says, well, we're not going to talk about the perjury. And that Vermont lawyer, contracted by the state of Vermont to represent that supervisor at Economic Services, he's under investigation. Your lawyers don't know what the fuck's going on. Ain't nobody telling them shit. Any more than they're telling Trump's defense attorneys Beauvais, Blanche, Bailey, Blondie, Shapiro, Dershowitz, Cronin. Ain't nobody telling y'all shit. Not to mention all the people who've been getting bad health care because of your unbundling and upcoding frauds. All those people will be notified. I have no doubt whatsoever that the FBI audited and are continuing to audit all your records. They're probably hired their hackers to go in and I guess, was it 2020, the FBI took over University of Vermont's medical records and then a couple of other healthcare systems because of hackers that went in and did something with the billing. That was probably all Hochul's FBI who did that. They can do anything as a matter of national security. You're falsifying records during a global pandemic. You think they stopped auditing your records? You think they don't know how you're harming each and every single patient? All the mothers you killed, those kids and husbands, are going to get to do what's called a victim's impact statement and demand your heads on platters. All the husbands you killed, the mothers and the kids, are going to be able to do what's called a victim's impact statement. They're going to demand your heads on platters. All the children that you killed. I can't even think of, plus all the taxpayer, all the people who have donated to all these bogus charities over the years are going to get to sue you for all that money back. I'm sure there's a record of it somewhere. Plus, you're looting the treasury, so that means every single person who paid taxes on anything in the state of Vermont is going to get to say, lock them the fuck up. And since you're in bed with Epstein and Trump and all these super predators like Bill Gates and Bezos, the Walton family, the Goldwaters, AIPAC, the Adelsons, all these people that are committing genocide stateside and abroad, you're cooked. So what is the point of sending people to fuck with me? Oh, that's Cronin's private little dig, right? That's how he's able to do this every night. You're doing that you're hoovering in order to convince your rapist to fulfill your rapist fantasies that you're still in control and you're getting over on me. I'm the least of your motherfucking worries. All the parents of little kids that you killed or haven't been treated, or even if they're still alive, you've been torturing all their life. Making sure the parent doesn't have a living wage, making sure the parent can't afford rent. Then running, unbundling and upcoding and keeping the kids sick through your fraud scams. That's where all the real fucking damage is going to be. The parents of the dead kids, the kids who are going to have the children's voices are going to be the loudest, whether they're talking about how you kept them sick throughout their entire childhood, right up into adulthood, how you murdered their mother, how you murdered their father, or both parents, or you falsified records, you got their parents addicted to drugs because you didn't treat the parents for their medical conditions and they had to go to the street to get pain management, and then you took the kids away from the parents through your falsified records. Trust and believe, I am the very least of your fucking worries. There's really not gonna, right now they're focusing on